guys. We are just waiting. I'm ready to... Ooh, that can't happen. I am just sharing. Sharing is caring. Hi guys, welcome. How's everybody doing? The middle of my back is really hurting me today. By the way, Eden gets in my car and she says, "Mom, why does your car smell like fish?" I told you.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I think they wiped down my car with fish water.
Or dirty water.
Yeah.
Real dirty water.
Mm-hmm. Should I let my attorney know that? Should I call him and let him know?
There's nothing you can do about that.
I don't know what he's going to do next. I know he has something up his sleeve. Because she said, "We'll get back to you. Go get your car."
Yeah, just wait till you hear from him.
It's still kind of stalling, so I don't know what's going on with it. Alright. Hey guys.
Just run it till it breaks again.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Oh, and I have to share this too. You guys can hear me okay, right? We are just discussing my car before I go on to the live show. Well, hello. Oh, Mary, we're going through some stuff with my car. Kia kind of sold me a lemon, and they're not... What's a good word for it? Owning up to it. I've had problems since I bought it. Getting notifications. Okay, Shelly said she paid her invoice. Oh yeah, invoices are out, guys. All invoices were put out. So look for your email. Okay. So I laid some tracks down last night.
What's that?
Music.
Oh.
I was up till close to 3. Justin texted me this morning. He goes, "Did you get any sleep?" I go, a little. He goes, "What am I going to do with you? Do you want to hear some of that?" I'm so excited. You want to hear some of it? I'm so excited. Okay, wait. Is it on my playlist? Oh, there it is. Okay, ready? I'm so excited.
Is that for that thing you want to do?
Yep. Yeah, and I put my own voice to it so I can sing with it on the thing. Do you like it? Do you like it?
Oh, I like it.
I had to be quiet. You can tell I was trying to be quiet because I didn't want to wake up Justin.
I like it.
Sneak peek. I was getting messed up by the singing bowl.
How?
I was trying to follow it. I was waiting for the ding because I'm following like a measurement.
Oh.
I used my bowl at home. I was over by the speaker going, ding. You should have saw me. You should have saw me. It was great.
That's really good.
Yeah, I worked really hard on it. Look at it. It's crazy. There's so many tracks. Oh wait, is it on? Oh no, it's on my. I wonder if it would come up on this one. I don't think it does. I need to get drop share so I can share it to my laptop. I'm gonna have to because. Oh. This is weird. My GarageBand's not even coming out. Okay. Well, anyway. I'm so excited. I can't wait to do tracks for people. We'll put it on a CD and send it to them.
They'll use that for what again?
Meditation. It'll be specifically created for their soul. This one's for anybody that's lost a pet or animal or a loved one.
Okay. All right.
Like it connects you to the other side. And the reason I did that is because we're doing that campaign
Right.
on
Right.
animals. Yeah, I've figured out a way how to mix a bunch of, like, I'm figuring out my platform.
Mm-hmm.
And what time is it? Okay, we're good.
58.
Yeah, I called it Soul Sounds.
Soul Sounds. That's pretty neat.
I did 2 different tracks. I didn't like the first one. I was like, and then I did this one. I'm like, oh yeah,
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, I'm messing around with different platforms and how to add my own stuff in with it. It's kind of cool, yeah. Because I didn't know that there's like a loop thing where you can just take a sound, which is what I did. I did like a low hum, and then I could loop it and keep it going. And I didn't know I could do that. I thought
That's
you just had
neat.
to sit there and go,
Thank
and
God
then
you
take a
don't.
breath.
Thank God you weren't doing it on camera where they could see your facial.
No. No. But I figured out that I could loop it where you couldn't tell there was a cut. But there is, like, I can hear, like, flick, where I could tell where there's a loop at. So I gotta fix those.
Yeah.
I have to smooth it out more.
What's your first one? So, do you iron out everything?
I've never done music like this. I've done music before where I've put together stuff.
Right.
But not like this is a learning process. 'Cause
That's
I don't
good,
know.
though.
I've never done like studio work like this where
Right.
I went in and like worked with the compressions and the gain and.
So now you learn how to do that on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm having fun.
I'll say, and you have fun doing it too.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's gonna be available where you can buy a soul transformation track or tracks if they wanted, and then I would work on it and make it for you, and it would get sent to you on a CD, and we'll put it to a platform on YouTube for you, so you'll be the only one that gets the link to that. So I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, I gotta figure out. Wait, is this them? Yeah. Hello.
Hey, Christina, how you doing? It's Rick calling from Melbourne.
Hi. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
This call got me on a lot, but I hung up before.
Okay.
So to get that hang up.
Oh, okay. No, we're good. We didn't even hear the phone ring.
Oh, no?
Uh-uh. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
About, where is it? I've got your whole thing in front of me. I guess we're just going to cover a bunch of wide-ranging things here. Galactic walk-in.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember talking about that from last week or the week before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I just added to it.
All right, cool. All right, very good. So hold on the line. We'll get started right after this, okay?
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Look at that. Nice. Single four.
I love working.
Never
with
mind. How about the my screen?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will learn just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Elevated radio already, and let me just tell you, my mind was a little bit blown by Christina. She's well, let me tell you a little bit about her first, and then we'll get her going. She's the owner of the Divine Medium, because that's what she is, the Divine Medium. TheDivineMedium.com is her website, based out of Johnstown, Pennsylvania. You can also reach out to her through that website, TheDivineMedium.com. Read all about her, see what she's all about, and how she can help you. You can also reach out to her by phone. Feel free. Dial her up at 814-254-4523. And again, Christina Watts, welcome back to the program, and how are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be back. I'm doing good.
Yeah, and you know what? We had a very interesting conversation our first time around, right?
Yeah, it was really fun. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, so did I. You know, I left my eyes opened quite a bit about your gifts.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Hey, for those who could be joining us for the first time or hearing you for the first time, Christina, do me a favor. Tell them a little bit about yourself and what you do as the owner over at the Divine Medium.
Well, we do a lot of stuff. We do a lot of healing, and there's a healing spa next door to the Crystal Shop. But we call the main shop the Crystal Cove. And a lot of people actually just like spending time here. It's not even about shopping. They just like the energy that comes off the crystals, and they kind of like spend the whole day. We've had even people from Ireland come to just check out the shop. A lot of people think the shop is like the shop from the movie Practical Magic. It kind of has the front part of the store looks almost identical to the movie, the shop in the movie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's for the ambiance is almost identical, but there's other rooms to it too. And then we have the healing spa next door where we do a lot of discord off of soul contracts and chakra, and I do what's called singing bowls. It's called sound and crystal therapy, and I do crystal layouts, and I do and I'm actually putting my own music together to make soundtracks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. and from what I understand, you also created the Mystic Healer School, right?
Yes, yeah, we deal with a lot of children. My youngest is 5 years old.
And what happens at this Mystic Healer School? Is this like Hogwarts?
Actually, we do kind of make it like that, so it is fun. And I actually am putting a whole new program together where, yeah, it'll be kind of like that where we'll get cauldrons. And I think a lot of people think that like weird stuff goes into cauldrons. I actually had to do some research, but it's basically just for sage and like incense. That's basically it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
It's like a giant diffuser.
And I think somewhere along the line, the movies kind of twisted it into something more cool. when really it was just all meant for saging and incense, so that you wouldn't burn your house down, basically. So yeah.
So you don't put little kids in there?
Yeah, no, we don't do that here.
Interesting. All right. Well, you learn something new every day.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Now, real quick, because, and again, we had this conversation a couple weeks ago, Christina, and kind of blew my mind about what you do. And tell us real quick, again, how this all started for you, because it's kind of different than most.
Okay, so I'm what's called a galactic walk-in. I arrived officially in 2009. There was a car accident, a T-bone at 60 miles an hour through the driver door. I was in and out of consciousness because I was coming in and out of different realms because I had to obtain certain data before coming in. So basically, what a walk-in is, and a lot of walk-ins have been coming to the surface, and they're feeling comfortable. It's almost like coming out of the closet. It's scary at first, but once you do, you feel free, and you know that there's people out there just like you. But basically, what a walk-in is, the soul leaves through a traumatic event, whether it be an operation, car accident, some kind of accident where the soul's able to jar out of the system. Because when the older you get, the soul just kind of lets go because the body's weak and can't hold on anymore. So the younger you are, the harder it is to get the soul to let go. So something has to hit it real hard, or be severely sedated to let go.
Right.
So instead of coming back as a baby and starting all over again, there was an agreement in heaven that souls would be allowed to walk in and use the rest of that life off in order to help humanity. So I came in 2009 with what's called the second wave of volunteers.
Right. So you're known here as Christina,
Yes.
but that may not be who I'm speaking with right now from
Heaven, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any recall of who you were before that?
Oh, yeah, I have many, many lives here. Yeah, I've been here several times. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. And it turns out a lot of people have sought your assistance with cold cases, missing persons, lost animals, homicides. You've also been known to communicate with ICU coma patients, right?
Yeah, that's actually my specialty. I do a lot of work with ICU and palliative care. I'm able to tell you in the room where the portal to heaven is opening, and I just did a post on this because I kind of wanted to see how many people notice that their loved one starts talking gibberish about, maybe a couple hours, maybe a couple days before they leave, because they tend to talk about, like, they'll look at you, you think they're looking at you, but they're actually looking past you to the loved ones coming in through the portal, and I'm able to actually walk the family through, okay, this and this and this person is here for him, and based off of what I give them, they're able to confirm, okay, that's grandpa, he passed 5 years ago, and yeah, he wore glasses, or yeah, he had diabetes. So I'm able to tell who's in the room and why they're there. So I'm able to help with palliative care. And ICU, it's basically I'm talking to the soul, and they're in a state of fluctuation between this world and the next, deciding if they're going to stay or if they're going to go. And that's where I walk the family through. And most of the time, sadly, it's the last words that they want to say to their family. And I get sucked in, and the one case, it was an overdose, and it really hit me hard. I was I was in the waiting room bawling my eyes out because he decided to go, and the family decided to pull the plug on him. But he did want a little bit more time with them, but they decided last minute. And I just, it's hard. It's hard to deal with cases like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's just, again, I take it back to our original conversation where I think my mouth was pretty much, open the entire time that you were talking about this stuff. But, through the course of your time being here, over the past, I guess, 10 years now, right?
Yes, yeah.
Because the accident happened in 2009?
Yes. Uh-huh. It's, I gotta say, the environment here is a lot denser and hard to navigate. There's a lot of people just in a fog, as if they're just not living. It's hard to watch. Like today, I was just kind of getting, and I'll admit it, it's my human side coming through, just feeling frustrated with people like this because they don't have any compassion for anybody else. They're just, I was in my car and I had like 5 people pull out in front of me, and there's no consideration of, okay, hey, maybe I could have hit them. You know what I mean? Or there's, it's like they're in a fog. They're not thinking. They're just doing, like a robotic motion.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, is that something that, as that happens, are you able to pick up on that?
Yeah, and that's why we're here. There's only a certain handful of second wave that came in. Now, first wave came in right after the atomic bomb went off. There was an alert that went off in the galactic universe that basically said, listen, Earth is killing itself. They're using energy that shouldn't be used in that manner. We need to have volunteers go down. But the first waivers didn't have karma attached to them. And karma basically is a background. You have to have some kind of, it's like throwing somebody into an operation and going, here, do surgery, and they've never had any schooling. It's the same thing with souls that have no karma. They've never left heaven, never left God. And they were thrown in. Do you remember the 1960s, the peace and love? Those
I've seen it on TV. I was too young.
Those were the first waivers. The peace, love, don't hurt. Smoke the plants, because they basically knew that the plants would calm people down from anger. They knew that the plants that were put here would calm people down. Like CBD oil right now is helping so many ailments instead of prescription pills that doctors are trying to pump into people's bodies. So, but right around the 1970s, there's this high rate of suicides, and that was the first waivers coming in saying, what the hell did I just get myself into? I can't be here anymore, and they started killing themselves off. So then the second wave went off. People, souls that have karma. they wanted to come and try to help.
Is that you? Are you part of that second wave?
I'm part of the second wave, and then the third wave that came in is the kids that are playing Choplin at age 2, doing mathematics, doing crystal grids. They're extremely high functioning, and they're very hyper because they have to open up this energy to wake up humanity, and we're here to assist the third wave.
All right. So now, when you say the second wave,
Mm-hmm.
did it start at a particular time and end at a particular time? And same with the third?
They would have started coming in right after the first waves left, so I would say mid 1970s to I would say they would have stopped coming in right around the time I came in. Around that time, yeah.
So you're probably one of the last ones coming in?
Yeah, they got me last fit there. Yeah.
Now, did you have a say in the matter? Do you say, you know what, I don't think I want to be part of the second wave. I don't want to do the third wave. Third wave looks cool.
Well, who I am in heaven, I never do say no. So I tend to go on a lot of missions. Yeah. And I know it's really hard for people to wrap their head around this, but if you look at Earth right now, it's going to make a lot of sense. If you just sit down and kind of open your mind and go, wow, there is a lot of BS, and there's a lot of energy spewing up and causing chaos. And that's because we came in and we're pulling in an energy right now that a lot of these souls are like little children stomping their feet. They don't want it to happen.
Oh, so you're talking about like half the population?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, the ones that are stuck to material items, that are stuck to their ego, doing drugs, depressed, things like this. And we're trying to break up that energy to show you, okay, there's way more than what you're doing. Like, it's hard to be around some people because I want to talk about things, but they sit there and they're talking about, you know, the drama in their life, and I'm sitting there going, okay, rise above and see that you can do so much more. Like, you're sticking yourself there. Yeah, it's sometimes it's frustrating, but I know what I'm dealing with. It's a lower energy that I have to help them out of. It's almost like they have their feet in tar, and we're trying to pull them out of the tar.
Right. And now, is that part of the work of the Crystal Code Spa?
Yes.
Where you're working with people in terms of, you know, working with them in relation to that type of energy?
Yeah, because this town is very stuck in a depressed. I don't know if you know too much about Johnstown, but there was 2 floods that hit this area, and they've been stuck in that era. It's like they can't move forward, they can't progress to new things, and this is the first crystal metaphysical shop ever in this area, as well as a metaphysical healing area ever in this area.
So were you kind of concerned at first? Because, you know, again, being the first in that area, you know, there's always a chance that somebody shows up with pitchforks.
No, I knew that this was part of the mission. I knew that I was supposed to have a shop. I just wasn't aware of where it was going to be. And I did a reading for Miss Universe, took a wrong turn, and saw a for sale or a for rent sign. And I was like, all right, well, I guess we're doing this. Yep. And I've been here 6 years, so yeah. And I never advertise. It's whoever comes in, and we've grown in the last 2 years. We've really had people come in. It's getting, the shop is becoming smaller because we're getting so many people in. It's hard to walk around sometimes.
Yeah. Again, we're talking with Christina Watts.
Yes.
She is the owner over at the Divine Medium on this edition of Spirit Talk Live. If you want to reach out to her, best way to do that is either give her a call or find her online. Find her online at thedivinemedium.com. That's D, you got to spell D. thedivinemedium.com. You can also contact her through there, set up an appointment. You can visit her either at the Crystal Cove or the spa. Hey, let me ask you this, too, because, you know, I think based on what you told me on our first conversation, there's some, and this is big for me, aliens. Talk to me about the aliens. You mentioned that. So
Yes.
Did you mention that? And I've been sitting on it on my own,
Right.
like sitting there, like, oh, okay, I gotta ask her about this, but I don't want it to come off as weird.
Oh no, I'm very open to that because technically a lot of the walk-ins are not from here, and we come from a higher energy that's able to push through this environment. Because the universal law is that we don't show up in spaceships, basically, because it will freak humanity out. So the next best thing was to come through the body and not freak people out. But there's universes and portals that lead to all kinds of areas. Like one planet, for instance, is like 3,600 years. That's their loop, whereas you guys have 1 year loop. They have like a 36 loop. I could tell you a whole bunch of stuff about all the different realms. Like one planet, you know how we build up like the president and then, you know, our government. They do it differently. They set markings that are steel into their planet, and it looks like a building, but it's not. It's their accomplishments are based off of these statures, and the higher it is, the more they've accomplished spiritually on their planet. Whereas it's more of like physically here, you know,
Right,
with money. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's measured materially, either with money or
Right.
by things that they own. You know, things. Yeah, you can't take it with you though.
Right, exactly, yeah, exactly. But there's other realms where, like here we have a soul contract and there's a due date on it. Whereas another planet, they decide when they want to leave and pass away. So they get the choice in that. And we do get free will, but we do the free will before we come in. Is kind of what happens. And based off the path that you're taking, because it's like a big buffet. It's choosing pizza over the corn. And basically your every decision makes a plan. And the plan creates a path. And based off the path that you're creating, your end date is at the bottom of that path. So and I tell people all the time, take a screenshot of your hands. And 6 months later, take another screenshot. Your soul contract is mapped out on your hand. Your left hand is what you could have been doing. Your right hand is what you are doing. All those little lines will change within a 3 to 6 month status. So if you take screenshots and do a swipe back to back, you'll notice those lines changing.
See, now you got me looking at my hands here.
Yep. And then,
okay, what is this? I got a line running straight through the middle. I'm like, what the heck does that mean? I didn't see that recently. That's new.
and the history of the galactic ones that have been here, Earth calls them gods, goddesses. They were actually the Anunnaki, and they were, humans didn't know what else to call them but gods and goddesses because they couldn't comprehend these big beings being here. And we're just now finding skeletons of big giants, and these beings were very big. They were kind of the first. But you know the ring that goes around Saturn, the crunched up little rocks? That was actually a planet, the planet of Eden, the Garden of Eden, was between those two planets, and it just kind of got sucked into the ring, and that crushed up rock is the planet of Eden.
Right.
And those people had to come to Earth because their planet of Eden was very similar to Earth. So that's how the whole galactic thing kind of started on Earth. The people of Eden came here.
All right. And now, can you explain? I might as well go for it since we're talking.
Okay.
This is a big thing for me, Christina. Talk to me about the pyramids.
Okay, those were set by the alien planet. Okay, so it's not just one race. There was several. Okay, so I'm trying to think of the one. Yvonne.
Yes.
The rocks in the circle. Why am I going blank right now? The rocks in the circle.
You mean Stonehenge?
Yes, thank
Yes.
you. Okay, so Stonehenge was basically, there was a galactic race that set that in motion. There's markings all over Earth for their races to go to and use the energy there. The pyramids is one, and that's one race. The Stonehenge is another race. And basically what happened with the Stonehenge was they used sound vibration. And basically if you use the right pitches with sound, you can lift things, even very, very heavy things. And now, even from what I'm gathering, the military is actually using sound to get crowds under control. They're using the sound through speaker to get them under control. So now the military is picking up that, we can use sound to control things. And you can control any kind of matter with sound. You can even open portals. And I've been actually working on this to get it into a book. But if you use certain mixes with sound, like hertz, like 432 with like maybe a 237, you can actually open a portal where, and I know it's mind-boggling, but eventually humanity's going to stumble upon it, And that's where that whole Star Trek thing is, where they go in that thing and they portal out and go somewhere else. It's the same concept. You just use sound therapy, open the portal, and you can go from PA over to Florida and just walk right through. You don't need a plane. Yes.
That's going to put the airline industry.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But yeah, eventually humanity is going to stumble upon that they can use certain frequencies to open up portals, to go different places, to lift things, and somehow it got lost in humanity where they just went, and it's sad to say, they went dumb, and they forgot who helped them, they forgot where they came from, and that history just got lost in the mix.
Well, yeah, and they talked about that, how there's basically missing history, as you just put it.
Yeah.
Missing knowledge, because I'm big into the whole, how these people build this stuff. It's already been proven that we can't do it today.
No.
How did they do it back then?
Right.
But there was a gentleman down in Florida, Homestead, Florida. I forget the guy's name, but he single-handedly built this castle. And supposedly it was using that long-lost knowledge, and he was about to share it when he passed away.
Right, I heard about him, yeah. Yeah, because they don't want that knowledge getting in the wrong hands. That's why they made him go. Because if it gets in the wrong hands, it could be pretty bad. And right now, that's why we're here. We're trying to control that bad energy that's trying to control humanity. Listen, this is the point that we're trying to make. Humans should not be afraid of their government. The government should be afraid of the people, period. Because they can do so much more. And I think people now are in this dumb stage where they don't think that they have any control, and they do. And that's what we're trying to put forth.
Yeah, you make a great point, because, you know what, again, people do feel, I guess that, the government, but I think Ronald Reagan said it best. The 9 worst words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, they're putting things into medicine, they're putting things into the food, they're putting things into the water to keep humanity docile and dumb.
Right. Yeah, you know what, and I think we've seen that with the shift of people looking for a more natural way to heal. They're looking for organic foods, because let's face it, you got the obesity problem. Starting in the 70s with all the preservatives, they started adding the food. And now, people reverting to looking for alternative ways of healing. And it's not really alternative when you stop and think that modern medicine is only, about 100 years old? Chinese medicine and everything like that has been around for centuries.
Right.
And it's been around for a reason.
And the Apple, Mr. Jobs himself, was being environmentally told how to advance humanity with technology. He knew what he was doing. People probably should have trusted him more. And he's kind of like Donald Trump. When you get around him, you don't really like his attitude and what he is. But the point of him being here is to make change and to do certain things. You don't have to like him, but he's here to do something. And that's what Jobs was supposed to do. He was mentally downloaded, basically, with information on how to advance humanity to help themselves. And
you know what? You make a great point about change, because that's one of those things that everybody talks about. Christina, it's like, I want to change, whether it's I want to change my weight or I want to change this. But as soon as there's a little resistance and, it's going to change my life, people freak out. And all those people that claim they want change really fight it as hard as possible.
And that's why I do that.
What you're saying is why you're here as well.
Right, and we do what's called a personal transformation package, and I've been doing baby steps with these people. I get them the first steps, and then I kind of do the tough love push. Okay, now it's your turn. And then after the transformation, what we're finding is they want me to hold their hand the whole way. And that's not the point. The point is I'm here to get you to see yourself in a whole new light. Now it's up to you. You got to put the shoes on and start going forward. Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Again, we're talking to the divine medium herself. Her name is Christina K. Watts. You can reach out to her a couple different ways. If you want to ring her up, feel free. She'll take your calls at 814-254-4523, or better yet, visit her online, because she's got a lot of great information on the website, thedivinemedium.com. That's D-T-H-E, divinemedium.com. You can read about her story, check out the links to the Crystal Cove, to the Crystal Cove Spa. But again, I think it's really the story that really. I mean, I want to ask you about Tesla. What happened with him? How's Elvis?
Well, Elvis has had many lives since he's been here, but yeah, he's not doing music. But when you come in with something, maybe let's say you're a writer or you're a philosopher, you tend to keep that kind of similar quality about yourself in heaven. So Elvis, him being a singer, would have done similar qualities in heaven as well, which is why he felt comfortable.
Was people like him, again, the Edisons of the world, the Einsteins, the Elvises, the Teslas, are they considered those types of people that are here to make those, push us into that change?
Yeah, because had they not, you guys would have been stuck more. The biggest thing was the Bible. It was written to kind of, like, prime example, Jesus was a medium. I mean, he plainly, in Matthew 17, called upon two beings, Isaac and Moses. Both had been dead 500 to 1500 BC, before he was on earth. So that makes him a medium. But, the religions would say, no, that's not true, blah, blah. But then he talks about gouging out your eye, or saying an eye for an eye. He's not talking about your eyes. He says eye, your third eye. Is basically what it is. It's not eyes, it's eye. So they're not reading it correctly. And the thing is, there's so many books that were there to kind of elevate humanity. There's level 2, level 3, level 4. But the governments of the world kind of controlled humanity by removing those books and keeping humanity in the intermediate stage, which is why we're here. We're bringing back the knowledge in the books that were taken from humanity, which is why I'm here. I guess you guys would call my book the Book of Mary.
Okay. All right. Well, very interesting. Again, opens up a world of questions, and personally, I don't have time.
Nope, you're good. This is fun. I like this.
Definitely amazing stuff. Again, we're talking with Christina K. Watts. Find her online, either at thedivinemedium.com. That is the website. You can also, I'm watching you live right now.
Oh, great.
On the Divine Medium, right on Facebook.com, because I see you holding up your phone, talking into it.
Yes, I'm talking to you.
Yes, it's a little bit of a delay. Yeah, so I'm waving at you, even though you can't see me. Yeah, you're waving back. Thank you. Oh, nice. Was that a bold pose with the face?
It was my Vogue, yeah.
Again, reach out to her either by phone or through that website. Give her a call, 814-254-4523 or thedivinemedium.com. I can't wait till our next conversation.
I know.
I'm gonna ask you about Area 51.
Oh, I got lots on that.
Oh my goodness. See, I wasn't even joking, but she's not. That's the amazing part. All right, so reach out to Christina. Christina, thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you have a great day. We'll be back with more on Elevated Radio right after these words. Elevated Radio. Hey, Christina, great
Hi.
stuff. Thank you.
You're welcome. It was fun.
Yeah, you're a blast.
Thank you. So do you want to know who I am?
Sure.
I'm Mary Magdalene.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I know so much. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I allowed to bring that up next time we talk?
Yeah, if you want. I usually get a lot of questions about Jesus. So,
Right.
so yeah, I love talking about him. So if you have any questions about him, I can relay that to you.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, that's interesting. Again, along with the Egyptian connection that I asked about, and you mentioned the Anunnaki, which I'm fascinated by. For some reason, I'm just drawn to that stuff, and I don't know why. Always have been as a kid.
That would mean now I get that a lot in my readings. Now that would mean that you're galactic in some way. That's why you're being pulled. What's the first spot you look at in the sky?
What's the what?
What's the first spot you get drawn to in the sky?
The first thought?
The first spot. When you're looking at the night. Yeah, when you look at the night sky, what are you most drawn to?
Let's see. Let me think.
Okay.
Because I guess that's the one that, growing up, it's like, oh, that's the easiest one to spot. I'm like, all right, I'll try and find it. And from there, I can find the Little Dipper.
Okay. So do you look at anything else besides the Big Dipper or the Little Dipper?
I try to look for the brightest star.
Okay. So that's going to be, the Little Dipper, Big Dipper is going to be more of a infused energy of learning. When you start out with that and you're like, okay, my childhood part is gone, I'm going to look for the biggest star. So the biggest star is actually a pull of your galactic side pulling towards home. So I would have to do an evaluation on you, and I would be able to tell you what race, why you're pulling at it. I can tell you why you do certain things here on Earth, things like that. Like, do you leave leftovers in the fridge and you don't really eat them afterwards?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's most galactics do that. Whereas Justin, when I'm home at Justin, he eats all the leftovers, so he's definitely not. But most galactics, what they do is it's what's called a galactic storing. Because most galactics don't eat like humans do, so they store food so that they can have it months later. Because in galactic timing, they don't eat maybe, let's say, 3 months our time. So they don't eat constantly like we do here. So they store. And then they usually go for like soft stuff, like puddings, and they don't like mixing grainy stuff with soft stuff. So that's usually a high tell there. Yeah. So they do certain things. There's certain mechanisms that they do, and I'll be able to tell you, yeah, you're galactic and you belong to this race based off of what you're telling me. So, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, when you mentioned the Anunnaki, I'm like, oh, this girl's not to me. she must know I'm really into this stuff.
Yeah, we can talk more outside the radio show. Just let me know.
All right. Awesome. Cool.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, you have a great week, okay?
Okay, you too. Bye.
All right. Bye.
I like him. He's so cool.
He's so nice.
He's one of the most interesting people I've met so far on like this kind of stuff.
With that kind of yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's so open. I love it. Hi guys. So that's the show. I'm sweating.
The air's on too.
Ooh, it's hot
I
in
just
here.
shut off because I was cold.
And then tomorrow's the iHeartRadio show. I think what I'll do is put a post up for you guys, and you can post your questions, and we'll go over your questions tomorrow on the iHeartRadio show. I'm forever storing food. Yeah, because we eat like a mushy, most galactics eat like mushy, proteiny, if you want to put an earth word to it, protein substance that keeps the body going. They don't really see it as good eating, like eating a hamburger and you're like, oh. Yeah, it's just to keep the body going. Okay, let me see. He reminds me of Michael Long. I know, poor Michael. Do you remember Michael Long?
Yes, I do.
I was just thinking about him the other day. I'm wondering if somebody is doing his show now that he passed.
You think they would have?
I don't know. Maybe they're not. I know there was a female that wanted to keep going with it, but I'm not sure she did. Girl, got my package today. Roll on worked. Girl, thanks a lot. Life changer. Thank you, Tiffany. I'm glad you liked it. Sharon, that's going to be a different evaluation. If you're just doing an evaluation on your gifts, that's a whole different thing. If you're doing one on the galactic side of who you are, that's going to be a whole different questionnaire. But okay, guys, we are going to head out because me and Yvonne have to go work on the book. Crystal book, woo! And I got to get posts out and I got to get emails out for the group reading because we're going to be doing it on Zoom. Guys, this is the last chance. This, when is it? Is it
The 24th. Today's the
Thursday?
20th.
So the day Eden has her orientation. Okay. So the group reading is at 6 p.m. Thursday. So call the shop and get your ticket. And then an email will get sent to you with a link to Zoom. It'll be a video with all us girls. We're going to have fun. We're going to be talking past lives. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. Crystals. We're going to be talking to loved ones. We're going to be talking to your guides. So if you want to do that group reading on Zoom, online group reading, give the shop a call and grab your ticket today. That's it, guys. I will talk to you guys tomorrow for the iHeartRadio show, and I will put a post up for anybody that has questions for tomorrow's show. Okay, guys, thank you for joining. It was so much fun. Bye.